Morning guys, my name's Tyler. I'm a fishing guide out here on Lake Travis here in Austin, Texas. And I'm out on Travis right now doing a little bit of scouting. I actually had the day off, so naturally, I go fishing. But today we got, post-frontal conditions. This past weekend, a big cold front rolled through. Saturday, early in the day, it was in the 70s, like high 70s. And after that, it was super cold. This morning it was in the 20s. I think it was about 27 degrees when I woke up. So I just kind of hung out at home, drank some coffee, and decided I didn't want to deal with that. So it's about 10:30 that I'm out here, but I want to put together a little video for you guys today, kind of showing you, how I scout, what I look for, as well as just, kind of teaching you a little bit about the baits that I like to throw under these, less than ideal conditions. So stay tuned. Let's see if we can catch a couple today.
How about that? Taking tips from the fountain and juice. If you ain't heard about the kid, then you out of the loop. Cause I'm sitting back staring at this road and my eyes see out the window in my room that I'm
pretty wide. Yeah, post-frontal conditions like we do today, there's a couple things that bass like to do. One of them is they tend to pull off the bank and they move to deeper water. So that's when you're going to start finding, kind of offshore. They're going to pull away from the bank and they're going to start moving to the edges of creek channels, points, ledges, things like that. So something that I'm targeting today is looking for creek channels and focusing on the edges of them where it gets deep. So I'll kind of show you on the map here real quick. So you can kind of see the snail trail I was fishing up in here. But basically you've got a creek channel that runs back here, and then you can see the contour lines changing. There's a real steep ledge through here, and then it continues to stay fairly deep, but especially this area. That's one thing that I look for, and then the other is structure. You know, in this case out here on Travis, there's a lot of docks, so docks are going to be the main thing they go to, as well as the staircases behind them. So always be trying to, you know, get those casts up behind the docks. If you're able to skip, you know, jigs, that's a good thing. Skip them up under the docks. But getting those hard to get spots, places where those fish will get real tight to the cover, because when they're on this pattern, they're not going to want to go far from that cover. So accurate casting is really important. Also, real quick, I want to make a quick shout out to a new sponsor of mine, Waterland Fishing. If you guys are looking for, you know, cool apparel, but especially sunglasses, that's their main thing. They make really nice polarized sunglasses, you know, targeted towards anglers. So I'll drop a link down below in the description. There's also a code you guys can get a discount, but check them out. I appreciate it. What I'm doing here is real important. It may look like I'm picking out a backlash, but in actuality what I'm doing is I'm feeding it line. One benefit of a spinning reel is that you can just point, you leave your bail open, point your rod tip at it, the line comes off nice and smooth. Now if you want to fish, you know, heavier line, like a jig, you know, I prefer a bait caster. But what happens if you just leave the spool out of gear and just let it take line, it puts a little tension on it, it's going to swing back towards the boat. And when you're fishing around docks, I want that thing as close to the bottom, close to the dock as possible, just like that. Voila, see? So I'm wrapping up my day out here on the water. I think I ended up with 10 fish. I had a couple that I didn't get on camera, but overall pretty slow fishing. Kind of what, you know, I expected the day after a really big cold front, you know, where we had like a 40-50 degree temperature difference. So when you get those kind of conditions, high barometric pressure, you know, almost no wind, it tends to make the fish a little bit more lockjawed. Not to say you can't catch them, because obviously I caught a few, but you got to work for them. So as you kind of see in the video, you know, a couple different baits I was throwing. Jig and Texas rig, I kind of alternate between those depending on, you know, what I'm throwing it in. I'll pick up an A rig from time to time, especially if I get something I really want to run that bait past. Caught one on a drop shot. Finesse fishing is one thing that, you know, I won't call it a crutch of mine, but, you know, I have a lot of confidence in finesse fishing and I consider myself really good at it. And to me, the holy trinity of finesse fishing is a drop shot, a shaky head, and a Ned rig. And something I purposely tried to avoid doing today was pulling out all three of those baits. I did throw the drop shot, but I left the Ned rig in the box. And that's one of those things where I have a feeling I probably could have caught more fish if I were throwing those. But at times, I just don't want to fish those. I fish them a lot out here, and I just wanted to, you know, throw some other baits that I prefer. You know, I love jigs. I even make all my own jigs. So next time you're out on the water, you know, consider the baits that you saw me throwing in this video. Be looking for those isolated docks. Look for that isolated cover that they can get on. Look for those deeper areas that they're going to pull off to that have, you know, areas adjacent that they may have been hanging out when they wanted to be shallow feeding. That's kind of stuff that I'm looking for this winter. And this pattern, it's going to be good for, you know, probably another month and a half until we get into free spawn. You know, usually around here it's in February. If you guys are looking to book a trip with me, the winter can actually be really good fishing. You know, obviously the day after front, you know, maybe not so much, but we've had such a warm winter. I expect the fishing is actually going to get even better with it getting colder, because it's finally going to drop those water temps. The water temps have been, you know, really unseasonably warm. So consider booking a trip with me. My website's torwicksguidingservice.com. You can book it online. You can message me on, you know, Instagram, Facebook, text me. I don't care. I will get back to you. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and good luck next time you're out there on the water.